Hello, Casey Wilson, owner of Roseville Strength and Conditioning, and a lot of you start your fitness journey off on something like this, whether it's to lose fat, gain muscle, get in better shape, you have some fitness goals, you start off thinking about the scale, and that's the way to get healthy and in shape. All right, so the scale is a great indicator of if you're losing weight, if you're making progress, but what I like to focus on with my clients is body fat percentage. I explain to them the scale doesn't relate to how much muscle or fat you're gaining or losing. It doesn't relate to your cardiovascular fitness. It doesn't relate to how you feel when you get out of the bed in the morning. What we want to do is get you healthy and fit. So I've been doing this for 20 years. I have multiple certifications. I've trained hundreds and hundreds of people. I've helped hundreds of people start their workout programs. And so what I want to do today is focus on a beginning workout for you. And these beginning workouts are designed for people that aren't working out right now. Or you're in the gym, you have no focus in the gym, and you're really not sure what to do when you go in there. That's what these beginning workouts are for. They're for you. So my philosophy on fitness is don't hurt yourself when you start, because if you hurt yourself, you're not going to be working out, you're not going to be getting in shape. So you take things slow, and what we're doing to look to do is progress through your workouts. So what you're doing the first day isn't what you're doing the first month. So don't hurt yourself and don't go too hard. You don't want to be discouraged. If you're discouraged, you're not going to be working out hard. You're not going to be getting the results you want. And getting on the scale is what causes a lot of discouragement. A lot of people the first week, the first 2 weeks, they get on the scale and they get discouraged. That's why I focus on body fat percentage. I ask you not to get on the scale but once a week. I do all these things because of the experience I have in working with people. I know what works and what doesn't work. So what I want to go over with you right now before we get started on these beginning workouts is progression. So what you start off in that first day isn't what you're going to be doing a month down the road. You're progressing throughout the whole workout. You're always pushing and challenging yourself. So you start off with the easiest exercises, which is what we're going to start off in the beginning workout, and then you work your way up to an intermediate level, to an advanced level. And doing that is going to, number one, cause you not to get injured. Number two, you're going to make progress and see that progress, meaning you started off with an easy exercise, now we moved up to a harder exercise. So it gives you a motivation and a goal. And that's what progression is all about. It's about progressing at a solid pace. So it's not going too fast, not going too slow. We want to get you fit, we want to get you healthy, and we want to progress you through these things in a timely manner. So whatever these exercises that we're going to be going over, when you're doing them, I'm going to give you some different options of what to do. When you're doing them, you got to think this is the beginning level, this is the base level, and this is what we're doing to get in shape, and this is what we're doing right now. It's not what you're going to be doing a month down the road, because those exercises will hopefully be harder, or you're going to be able to last longer doing those exercises as we build you up. Don't place too much focus on the fact that the exercise is very hard when you first start. I'm going to give you the most basic, easy exercises to do for a beginner. And like I've said before, I've trained hundreds and hundreds of people, and these are the beginning exercises that are the easiest for them to do. They're physically the easiest, and also we can set benchmarks with these beginning exercises. You will be able to see when you move up to an intermediate workout what the difference was. You will look back on these beginning workouts 2 months, 3 months down the road, and they'll feel easy. But this first day, they're going to be hard. But I promise you, if you're doing them the right way, and if you're following the videos and the explanations given, you're gonna be making progress. And that's the whole point. We want to progress you and your fitness level to a higher level. So for the beginning workouts, what we're gonna be doing, and I'm gonna go step by step through this, and you're gonna be able to follow because it's all gonna be in order on the video. We're gonna start off with cardiovascular training. I like to warm people up before we do any type of stretching. So most people walk in that door with me, and I'm sure you're probably in the same boat, and you don't have very good cardiovascular fitness. You can't go run a mile. You can't ride a bike for 5 miles. So what I try to do is build up cardiovascular fitness. So that's number one. What we're gonna do is we're gonna break cardiovascular up. So we're not just gonna get on one machine and do it the full amount of time. We're gonna split it up. So the goal for this workout is we wanna have it last for about 45 or 50 minutes. So cardio is gonna be a part of it. The second part is going to be an active stretching routine. So I'm going to take you through some active stretches. The third part will be more of a static stretch, because I like to stretch you out and have you do stretching exercises after you're already warmed up. I don't want you to cold stretch. It's just what I prefer. All right, so we're going to do 3 exercises right after we get done doing our active and static stretching and our cardiovascular training. Each one of those exercises will be focused on a specific area of your body. We're going to do a core exercise, we're going to do a lower body exercise, and an upper body exercise. Sometimes they'll do a whole body exercise too. And those are going to be designed for base conditioning. Everything we're doing here is for base conditioning. The first month, you want to start getting your whole body in shape. You don't want to focus on one area at a time. A lot of people make the mistake of focusing, going into the gym and going, I really want my legs to look better, and they only work their legs out, or they work their legs excessively hard. A lot of guys like to go to the gym and they only focus on their upper body. What we want to do is we want to focus on core, legs, upper body, all in the same beginning workout. We're not doing a whole lot with each one. We're doing 3 sets for each area of your body. That's all we're doing, and then the next workout we're going to do the same thing but with different exercises. All right, so next, now that we've discussed what we're going to do in our workout, we're going to head over and do some cardio. All right, so it's time to do some cardio. The reason we do cardio training is we want to burn calories, we want to get your lungs and heart stronger. So I don't want you to be bored doing cardio. If you go into the gym or you're at your house and you have one piece of equipment, you're going to get bored if you're doing it the full amount of time. So I split it up. So I have different machines: elliptical, Stairmaster, bike, rowing machine, running. So you're going to rotate through these. Because we're doing a workout the last 45 or 50 minutes, can't spend the whole time focused on cardio. You could go to the gym and do 40 minutes of cardio on your own, but what I recommend is splitting it up because you're going to be doing your other exercises as part of the beginning workout. So 3 7-minute sets. So you're going to get on one machine for 7 minutes. When you hit that 7-minute mark, you're going to switch to the next machine. You're going to go 3 times 7 minutes. That's it. And then you're on to your active stretches and your static stretches and your workout. So when you get on your cardio machine, there's lots of fancy buttons and dials. What I always recommend for all my clients, those are all great. Just get on the machine and look for the manual program and just go low on the manual program. Start at level 1. You're a beginner. These videos are for beginners. Start at level 1. Then you have some place to work up to. So you start at 1, you go, this is too easy, you can work up to 2 and 3 and 4, but only do them for 7 minutes. If you're really wanting to do a lot more cardio, if you're training for something specific and you're just getting started, you can go 10 minutes 3 times. So go to 30 minutes instead of 21 if you want to spend some more time. This is a guideline, so this is not specific. Each person has their different goals and you're going to have your different goals, but you can take this as a guideline and you can add minutes, take away minutes if you want. When you're doing cardio, the main thing that I found when training beginners is you don't work hard enough. So when I say start off at level 1, you need to be working hard. You need to be breathing heavy. You want your heart rate between 140 and 160 is the general rule of thumb. But you want to be breathing hard, and I always go over one specific thing that's really quick and easy. It's a short sentence test. You can say supercalifragilistic without taking a breath. Then you're probably okay, but maybe you want to work a little bit harder. My name is Justin. My name is Casey. Whatever it is, if you can say that without taking a deep breath, you're probably not working hard enough, so work harder. So next we're going to do some active stretching. The reason for stretching is we want to stretch your muscles out. We don't want things tight. We don't want things to pull when you're doing weight training exercises. And we also, flexibility is very important for your daily life and for the health of your body. So we're going to do some active stretches, which means we're actually going to move. So I'm going to demonstrate 4. I usually have clients do 4 active stretches, and I like to hit different ranges of the body. The most danger areas are the back of your legs, the inside of your legs, your quads, and your shoulders. All right, so we're going to go over that. So we're going to start off doing walking toe touches. So we're going to go alternating. So you're going to take one hand, you're going to step forward with a foot, you're going to keep your leg locked out straight. You're going to reach down, touch your toe, or as far down as you can touch. If you can only touch your knee, just touch your knee. Keep your back flat, step again, touch the other toe, and repeat this. You want to do it at least 20 times at the bare minimum. I have people do it a little bit more than that. I have a distance I have them walk, but you want to be stretching out that back of your leg. So the key point is step, take your alternating hand with this leg straight, locked out. Reach down, touch your toe, because you want to feel a pull through this area. Second, we're going to do walking toe grabs. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see better. So you're going to kick your foot back, grab your foot, grab your toe or grab further on your foot, and you're going to pull this back and try to touch your butt with it. Now, not everybody can do that. I have clients that can't do it. So what you're going to do as an alternative is you're going to do walking butt kicks. So you're going to try to kick your butt up. So if you can kick your heel and touch your butt, great. If you can only go that far, fine. We want to get blood flow into these areas. So the goal is to do alternating toe grabs. So to grab, grab, do alternating toe grabs. Third, we're going to do there's a few different ways to warm up and work your hips, all right, and the inside of your legs. So we're going to do side kicks or side lunges to work out that area and warm it up. So what you do with side kicks is you just want to kick out to the side. We're looking to warm this area up right here. So kick out to the side, kick out to the side, and we're just trying to be active and get those muscles warmed up and working. Also, what you can do is side lunges. So you just want to sit into your hips. You want to move out. Now, everybody has different ranges of motion. Some people can get lower. Some people can't get as low. Some people can barely get this low. Whatever it is, you're just trying to warm up. So it's not the exercise. We're just warming up and stretching. So we're wanting to get this area. So side kicks, or spread your feet out, side lunges. You're just sitting into your hips, back and forth. Fourth, we're going to warm up your shoulders. There's a few ways to do that. The easiest way is to do arm rotations. So what we're going to do is we're just going to rotate your arms, and you don't need big circles. We're trying to just warm up the muscles in your rotator cuff, your deltoids. Get it warmed up, because your joints are where you're going to usually have a lot of problems. And a lot of people find that these stretches are actually cardiovascular. They're breathing heavy, especially when you're a beginner and you're not doing stuff. You start breathing heavy when you're doing these things. So it's actually good. You can also change the rotation. I usually like reaching backwards because it also gets through your chest. But sometimes you can rotate and go forward. You can also, towards the end, increase your size and go further up. Also, a great stretch to do for your shoulders and to increase your flexibility in your upper body is wall reaches. So what you want to do is squat down a little bit. You want your lower back and your back flush against the wall, your head back against the wall. You're going to put your arms back and you're going to reach up and down. If you don't want to scratch your wall, take your watches off. But if you notice, everything's dragging against the wall. Now, not everybody can do that. Some people do this. They can't reach and touch the wall. That's fine. Stay focused on it. Keep your head back and reach out there. But the goal is to get to the point where you're rubbing your arms up and down the wall, and that's why we call it wall reaches. All right, so next we're going to do some static stretches. I always like to do these after your active stretches because you've already got warmed up, and when you're starting to really try to push your limits of your stretching, it's better to already be warmed up. That's why we do cardio and active stretching before we do static stretching. So, same areas apply that are your danger areas for stretching. So what we want to do is warm those areas up and get them all stretched out and limber before doing your weight training exercises. I like to do this one. I spread my feet out as wide as I can. I have all my clients do it. If that's as wide as you can get, that's as wide as you can get. Then what I'm going to have you do is you're going to reach out in front of you as far as you can. Now, you can reach out as far as you can. If you want, you could put a workout ball out in front of you and roll out on it, as long as you're reaching out as far as you can. Okay? You're going to reach out as far as you can and you're going to hold it. So all these stretches, I recommend holding 45 seconds to a minute. So it takes a little bit of time, but it's very important, number one, for your overall health and flexibility, but just also with being safe and not injuring yourself. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've never had any major injuries of any of my clients because we do a lot of warming up and we go in a proper order of things. And I think that's a major reason why a lot of people don't have injuries when they go to the gym. So 45 seconds to a minute to do these stretches. Reach out as far as you can. This is what I've had people do first. And as you start to limber up over a period of time, you can start to reach out further. Then, after your 45 seconds to a minute, then you're going to reach towards one of your toes. You're going to lean your forehead down towards your knee and reach towards that toe. Everybody's going to have your different levels of flexibility. Don't worry about it. Just do the best you can with that. Then you'll also lean down and do the same thing over here. So that's like 3 total minutes or a little bit less of stretching for that. Next, I'm going to turn sideways here to demonstrate this a little better. We're going to work on stretching your hips out a little bit more. So this is one that gets a lot of people, and there's a lot of ways to do this, but we're going to do this We're gonna call this hip stretches. So we're gonna put one leg on your quad. Some people can barely get their knee up. Some people, we actually are really inflexible and we have to just kind of have them hold their leg up like this, because that's as far as they can get back. But what you really want to do is put your leg up like this. You want to reach through that little hole in your leg. You want to lay your head back and you want to curl up. If you can do this, great. If you can only do that, great. It doesn't matter. It's about you and what your ability level is right now. This will be the last one we're going to do for the lower body. But there's many stretches you can do. I'm just going through some of those danger areas that I like to stretch out before I have somebody work. People call these butterflies, groin stretches. You're stretching out this inside part of your leg. You want to pull it in towards your groin. You want to flatten your legs out, and you want to pull up on your toes and have really good posture. Now, some people, you're a beginner, remember? They can't do that. Just try to lean into it, try to pull your toes up, however it is. If you can just get your feet in this position and just put your arms on your legs, there's many different ways to do this, but this is the main way you want to do it. And you can't get to this point, or better, if you don't start. So doing the beginning stuff, not everybody can be super flexible right away. You got to work at it. And some people are more flexible than others. Some people stretch every day. I stretch every day, but you haven't been. You're a beginner. You haven't been doing this. Give yourself some time to get better with the stretches the same way as you do with exercises. First exercise we're going to start off with is planks. A lot of people have done planks, but if you haven't, I'm going to go over it in detail exactly how I have my beginning clients do it. Remember, this is a beginning exercise, so I'm going to start off showing you how to do a plank, and then I'm going to switch and show you just a little difference of a modified plank, which makes it easier, because you might not be able to hold a plank for a minute. There's a lot of people in beginning workouts who can't hold a plank for a minute. So the first thing with doing a plank, you want to think about your belly button, and you want to suck it in. You don't want to flex your stomach muscles, you just want to suck your stomach in. The other thing is you want to think about squeezing your glutes and your legs tight. So you're going to do all these things, and you're going to do them all down on the ground. So you're going to be getting a prone position. You're going to suck that belly button in. You're going to squeeze your glutes tight, and you're going to hold this position. Think about your hands as a knife's edge. Try not to hold on like this. You also, if you notice where my arms are, I'm not out here, because then I'm going to fatigue my shoulders a lot. You want to be over your arms, like this. So everything's tight. Now, you're in this position, you're squeezing your glutes tight, you're sucking your belly button in, and then you're also breathing. You gotta breathe. Now there's lots of workout breathing, there's different philosophies on breathing, but I always tell people to just make sure you're breathing, but especially on this one, tell them to take short, shallow breaths. You don't want to take big, gasping breaths. So just in through your nose, out through your nose. That's always my preferred method. So you're in this position, you're breathing short, shallow breaths, you're holding everything, and you go, man, I can't hold it any longer, and it's not been a minute yet. Drop down on your knees, lift your toes up, and now you're in a modified plank. Notice I didn't bring my knees forward and stick my butt up in the air. I'm in the plank position, I drop my knees straight down, I lift my toes up, now I just took all the weight of my legs off and I'm able to last longer. So the whole goal is to do this exercise 3 times for 1 minute. You're also going to take a rest for 1 minute in between each time you do it. So 3 times you're going to do it for a minute, then you're going to take a 1 minute rest each time, and that's it. All right, your next exercise is rows. So what we're going to be doing is working your back muscles. We're doing rows. The secondary muscle you help with is your bicep. So what we want to do is always want to have good back strength. A lot of people really suffer in their actual strength in their back, and there's only a few exercises you can do that really work the back. Some type of pull up or pull down and rowing exercises are your main movers for your back. So what we're going to do is a basic one. Almost every gym has some type of rowing machine or multiple rowing machines or even more rowing machines than you can imagine. I'm going to do standing rows. Main thing I'm going to do is a little bit of a squat, because you always want a good base when you're doing any exercise. You want your chest out, chin up, and all you're doing is your elbows are the only thing moving. So I'm driving my elbows behind my back and I'm kind of pushing my chest out. And I'm keeping my back flat, and that's how you want to do a row. Now repetition-wise, the people are like, how many reps do I do? Sometimes I'll count reps and I'll worry about it. A lot of times I just time it. So a lot of these things I've done time-wise because it's easier for people to click a clock on their phone and time it. If you want to go rep-wise, if you're looking for weight loss and just like building up endurance, 15 to 18 reps. Some people go up to in the 20 rep range. I don't think you need to do any more than 20, and you set the weight so you're getting really tired at the end of those 20. So you're kind of reaching failure, or you're just not able to do many more afterwards. That's about how many you should do. But if you go, all right, I'm gonna do this for a minute, and you're getting fatigued after 15 seconds, the weight's too heavy. So lighten the weight. It's all about adjustments. I can't be there to adjust things for you or to see how you're doing. So I want you to use your mind and go, all right, I'm reaching failure after 10 reps where I can't do anymore. I need to lighten the weight. Or I did 20 reps and it wasn't hard at all. I need to up the weight. Those are adjustments that you're gonna have to make yourself. But that is the basic exercise. You'll see seated machines at the gym where you sit down and do this exercise. You'll see standing ones. You'll see ones with pressure pads for your chest that you get to pull back. A lot of you may be doing this at home. Grab a resistance band, hook it around whatever thing you have in your house that's going to be sturdy, and you can stand and hook that resistance band on something and you can pull and do this exact same exercise. So in this gym, I have multiple areas I can do it, but at my house I have different bars on things, or if you have a countertop, whatever it is, something that's secure and steady, whether you wrap it around a pole in your house. A lot of people have beams in their house, wrap the resistance band around it, and just do that range of motion. It's that simple. Next exercise is squats. So obviously for your legs, everybody's done squats, and they're one of my favorite exercises. You will do a lot of squats if you're working with me. So I'm going to go over the basic technique for squats and how you do it biomechanically correct, and then we'll go from there. I'll give you some alternative, an easier alternative if you're having some issues with your knees and you're worried about, falling down or having some issues doing your squat. So first, a squat, you want to have your feet about shoulder width apart. There's different types of squats, but we're going to do just a basic squat. So you think about the outside of your foot being lined up with the outside of your shoulder. You're going to have your chest out. I always tell people have your belly button, your core drawn in tight, especially if you're doing weights. You always want your core tight. Then all you're doing is you're bending your knees. Nothing else is really bending. Since I'm doing a body weight squat, I'm going to put my hands right here, and I'm going to squat down. That's a full squat right there. So it's like I'm sitting down into a chair. There's different types of squats where you go down further and for reasons. All we're going to do is a full squat, and if you have some knee issues or you're having some problems, going down that far is okay. A little bit of a bend is okay. So, chest out, good posture, belly button sucked in, squatting down into like a chair position, as far down as you can comfortably go. Everybody's going to have their own ranges of motion. You're going to fill a spot where you're going to hit and you're going to go, I can't go down any further than that. That's your range of motion right now on a squat. As you get stronger, as you progress, you're going to be able to get down lower and you're going to be able to get a deeper squat. So this is working all the muscles in the front of your leg, your back of your leg, your butt. It's a good overall lower body exercise. So if you're having some problems doing regular squats or a little worried about joint stability or you're not able to do the exercise the way you feel you can do it, we can do an easier version, which is a bench squat. It's a little safer, so you're going to have a little bit of a cushion behind you to sit down on if you feel like you're going to lose your balance. So all we're going to do is we're going to position our body the same way as we do on a regular squat, except we're going to have this bench right behind us. The main thing is outside of your foot, outside of your shoulders, and then you don't want to stand right by the bench. If you stand right by the bench, what you're going to do is when you sit down and stand up, your knees are going to go over your toes, and that puts a lot of stress on your patella area. You don't want to do that. So you sit down on the bench, you move your feet out a little bit, and you feel comfortable, you stand up, you sit down. Stand up, sit down. If you notice, now I'm sitting in the seated position. If you have a chair at home, whatever you have, a couch that's firm, a bench, whatever it is, these are a good way to do this. You don't have to have a workout bench. All right, so core exercise for your second workout is bicycle kicks. So we're going to be working your lower abdominals. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay down flat on the ground. You're going to suck your belly button in again, just like you did on your planks, if you remember doing your planks on the first workout. Suck your belly button in. You're going to take your hands. A lot of people like to put them underneath their glutes. You don't have to, but you put them underneath your lower back and glutes. It helps buffer your back, especially for beginners that are suffering during their workout and their lower back hurts them already. This is a good way to kind of buffer that back. You can put them at your side. I don't recommend putting them behind your head because just like with doing crunches, you start pulling on your head subconsciously. So as a beginner, this is a beginning exercise for this lower abdominal area. You'll also feel this a lot in your legs. A lot of you will think, man, this is really working my legs, but it's just because you're having to statically hold your legs up in the air. So, hands underneath, and you're gonna kick straight out. Notice how I'm kicking straight. I'm not windmilling up in the air. The higher your legs go up in the air, the less stress you're putting on your core. You wanna keep them flat. Belly button sucked in, relax your head back, and this is exactly how it should look. You wanna do this exercise 3 times for 1 minute each. 3 times and 1 minute each. 1 minute break. So in between each exercise, you're going to rest for 1 minute. So the same amount of time as you're doing the exercise, you're going to rest. It'll let your heart rate come down a little bit. It lets all your muscles relax. And then you're able to go back and do the exercise again. All right, so next what I'm going to have you do is ball slams. That's your next exercise. The big thing about ball slams is it's kind of a whole body exercise, but it uses a lot of upper body. And the main thing also, you're going to breathe heavier doing this exercise because you're using a lot of muscles. But you're going to use your shoulders a lot. You're going to use your core, and you use your legs a little bit. Okay? So ball slams, it doesn't matter what size ball, you're a beginner. If you have a 10-pound ball at the gym, great. If you have an 8-pound ball, if you go to the store and buy one, more power to you, whatever it is. You don't have to do just slams. I'm gonna show you slams and ball up downs as an alternative. I like slams because you get a little more explosive and you get your heart rate up a little bit more. But you don't have to do slams, you can do up downs too. What you're gonna do is you're gonna reach down and grab this ball, get a little bit of a squat, bring it right up along your body line over your head, and slam it down, pick it back up, and repeat. Over and over again. For 1 minute. Then you're going to rest a minute, and you're going to do that 3 times. 3 sets, 1 minute rest in between each one. Now, if you're struggling to do the ball slams, if it's a lot of work, you're breathing too heavy, you can only last for 10, 15 seconds, you notice you're having a little bit of a problem, we can do ball up downs. So this is just an alternative to the ball slams. You grab your ball, you lift it up as high as you can over your head. If you can only lift it up to your forehead, or the top of your head, great, but you really want to kind of extend up. Bring it back down, touch the ground. And there's an alternative to slamming if the slamming is a little bit rough on you. The next exercise is a leg exercise, and it's going to focus on the back of your legs. So this area, people call it the hamstring muscle group, your glutes, and your lower back. So it's a beginning exercise. So you're going to be able to do it, and you're going to be able to do it smoothly. If you're not able to do it because you have some issues with your knees or something, I'm going to give you an alternative afterwards. Donkey kicks. So you're going to get down in a position with your forearms on the ground. You kind of remember this position from the plank position with your forearms like this. But you're going to have your knees up by your waist, and then you're going to kick up and out. You're going to bring your knee back down, and you're going to kick up and out, and you're going to alternate back and forth on your donkey kicks. So the goal is to kick up and then out. So you're extending upwards and extending as far as you can up. Now, if you can't kick that high, if you can only kick back like that, that's perfectly fine. Remember, you're beginning. This is an adjustment, so as you get stronger, maybe you're kicking at a better angle. The biggest mistake on these is a lot of people want to kick out like this. Try to kick back because we're trying to work that area. If you cannot do a donkey kick, let's say you have some knee issues and it's a problem. Here's something that'll also stimulate it. We just call these butt kicks, and you did these somewhat on stretching. You can also use ankle weights on this as a progression. But you're just going to kick up repeatedly. Just try to kick your butt over and over again, because you're still going to stimulate an area. It's not going to be the same. Donkey kicks is a little harder than butt kicks, but at least you're going to be able to do something to stimulate that area and start strengthening it. The third core exercise, this is the third workout, it's your third core exercise. We're going to do crunches. So with crunches, what we're going to do is everybody's done them. Everybody's done sit-ups and crunches at school in some variation or manner. I'm just going to go over what the best way to do them is to actually engage your core muscles, how high you should come out, up, and how you should position your body. So with crunches, there's a lot of ways to do them. We're doing the basics. Remember, this is a beginning workout, so we're doing the basic mat crunch. So you're going to be laying flat on your back. Get yourself positioned. Now the hands are where a lot of people have a hard time with. I usually recommend this or this. Some people like to reach straight up in the air. Just don't put your hands behind your head. If you really feel like you need to put your hands somewhere, you can put them behind your ears. Just don't, because you're gonna start yanking on your neck, and then the next day you're gonna wonder why your neck's sore. Okay? So, hands here, hands here, hands here. Position of the legs. You want to extend your legs out so there's a little bit of a bend in your knee, but you don't want to be up like this because you start pulling and grabbing with your legs. So you extend your legs out a little bit, toes up in the air, and here's the full range of motion for a crunch. Get up and your lower back leaves the mat. This is as high as you want to come on a crunch. Now you're a beginner. You may not get up that high. You may only get your shoulder blades up off. That's fine. But the goal is to get up to this point. But if you only get to this point, don't stop, keep going, because you're eventually going to get up to this point if you keep working hard at it. 3 sets, 1 minute of doing the exercise, and then a 1 minute break in between. All right, the next exercise is side steps. So what we want to do is we want to work your hips, okay? And also the inside of your legs will be worked quite a bit. So basically this whole hip complex is where we're wanting to work. All right, so when you're doing side steps, you want to, number one, have your feet fairly close together, but you don't want them too close together. Then you're going to step out to one side and then bring the other foot back over. The reason for this is because you're not always going to do it just without any resistance at all. I like to have people do them with resistance bands, and so this is why I have them do it this exact way. You step out as far as you can and bring your foot back, but not all the way back. Out as far as you can. Now the main thing you're going to do is you're going to keep your toes pointed towards whatever wall that you're using. So for me, the wall is right here. I want my toes lined up with that wall, and as I step, I'm not pointing my toe. It's the number one problem I have with people is they want to point their toes. If you point your toe, then you start bringing your quads into it and other muscles we're not trying to work. We're trying to work this area. So you're going to step straight out and in. You can do this with no weight like I just did it. I like to have people do long stretches. But you can do it in your living room. You can just step one side and you can step back. But if you have ankle weights, you can do it and it'll work hard too. You just got to remember when you put ankle weights on, don't rotate your foot. Keep your toe pointed towards the wall. And also, I'm going to go over real quick how to do them with a resistance band because that's how I have my clients do it. This is how I have my clients do it. I have all different types of resistance bands. This is the hardest one, but I have easy resistance bands also. So you can do this exercise under a little tension, and you'll feel it a lot more in the areas as you're under tension. So you can buy resistance bands from Amazon to Walmart to wherever. All right, so with resistance bands, you're gonna step out and step back. Step out, step back. Then you're gonna head back the other direction. So this is a tight resistance band. Always keep your toes pointed forward towards the wall. Don't rotate your toe out, and just step, step. You wanna do this exercise 3 times. For roughly about 20 steps one direction and 20 steps back the other, or 10 steps this direction, 10 steps that direction, and however you want to do it, whatever size room you have, you're basically 20 one way and 20 the other. Next exercise we're going to do is, I call them chest pops. So they're basically going to activate the muscles in your chest and the front of your shoulder. You'll use a little bit of your triceps also when you do them. So you're going to take a bag. You're going to grab each side of it, or you can grab a ball, or you can grab a dumbbell, you can grab a gallon of milk, whatever it is you have at your house, you grab it. If you're at the gym, you'll have a lot of other tools that you're going to have. Then what you're going to do is, I call them chest pops because you're popping your chest. So I'm just going out like this. Now, if you're laying down on a bench and doing a chest press, you're going to work those same muscles. I just like to have these with starting clients because if you grab a 10-pound weight or a 10-pound bag, this is a 20-pound bag. If you grab whatever you're strong enough to do, and you repeat this motion about 20 or 25 times, when you're extending it out like this, your muscles are going to get a lot more tired. So you're going to do a weight that works for you. So if it's 10 pounds, 8 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever you can do in this range of motion, do it at a pretty steady, fast pace. That's what you want to do. Then we'll progress you up to chest press and an intermediate exercise or something along those lines. So we're doing heavier weight and we're stimulating your muscles in a different way as you get stronger as you progress past the beginning stage. All right, so that's the end of the beginning workouts. So you just went through 3 workouts. They're all for beginners. You should be doing well at them. If it's too hard for you, you can always, cut some time off. You can make some adjustments to it. It's for you. This is for you, so make adjustments to it. But also, I'm a trainer, and I'm going to tell you, sometimes you got to push yourself a little harder than what you really want to push yourself to get the results you want. So here's the personal trainer in me saying, push yourself when you're doing these. Don't stop because your muscles are burning a little bit, or you're breathing heavy and your lungs are hurting. Push yourself a little bit. Make sure that you're getting a good hard workout in. And what I always tell clients when they go to the gym on their own, because a lot of my clients go to the gym on their own, just like you will, I'm not going to be there with you, is push yourself like if I was standing right there and asking you to do that. Because a lot of people, when they get out on their own, they don't push themselves hard. We're in beginning workout phase, and I want to give you a tip. So right now you have 9 exercises, 3 core, 3 leg, 3 upper body exercises. You can start combining even more of those exercises in to make your beginning workouts harder. So as you progress through, so a month, 6 weeks down the road, these workouts aren't seeming as hard to you anymore. You start combining more exercises in with them. Then if you reach that level where you're doing your beginning exercises and you're doing all 9 of them and you're not feeling like this workout's that hard anymore, guess what? I have some intermediate workouts for you too. So you can just email me or contact me for that information, and we'll have intermediate workout program for you to progress you along that path that we talked about at the start. It's all about progressing. Then eventually, who knows, maybe you reach the advanced level.